Hello, my name is Shalyn Hadwiger, and I will be presenting my International Trade and Finance presentation on the Netherlands. I will use the word Dutch and Netherlands interchangeably throughout this presentation. So the country is the Netherlands, and the language and the people are considered Dutch. So the U.S. and Netherlands history. So in 1609, the Dutch East India Company hired Henry Hudson to find a northeast passageway to India. He ended up finding his way to the U.S. and trade between the Netherlands and the U.S. was initiated. Fun fact, this happened in the Hudson Valley in New York. In 1624, the West India Company was formed by the Dutch Parliament as a national joint stock company that would organize and oversee all Dutch ventures in the Western Hemisphere. In 1803, the Netherlands helped finance the Louisiana Purchase. And then flash forward to 2018, the Netherlands is in the top 5 largest foreign investors in the U.S. And also in 2018, the U.S. is the leading single investor in the Netherlands. And then in 2020, 925,000 American jobs have been supported due to the economic ties between the U.S. and the Netherlands. And then also you can see a little picture there if you're unfamiliar. It's in Europe, part of Europe, by Belgium and Germany. And that's a picture of the Netherlands. Alright, so the Netherlands economy. So the Netherlands are part of the EU, or the European Union. They have a mixed economic system. The economic system includes private freedoms, centralized economic planning, and government regulation. This is likely due to the fact that there's a parliament and a monarch, so like a king and a prime minister. The GDP in the Netherlands is 832 billion, and the GDP per capita is 48,200. The Netherlands is actually the 6th largest economy in the EU. They have low unemployment. It's about 4.9%. The Netherlands is the world's second largest agricultural exporter, and the 17th largest economy in the world in 2021. The Netherlands actually represents 0.79% of the world's economy. So the Dutch currency and interest rates. So in 2002, the euro became the official currency. The euro is a floating currency like the Japanese yen and the US dollar. The Netherlands has a AAA rating among the rating agencies. This includes Moody's and S&P, and it's the highest rating you can get. So as you can see from the chart, the Netherlands is the second from the bottom there. So this chart is for 10-year sovereign bonds, and the year to date, which you might not be able to see because of me in the video, is 0.42%, which is about average among the other countries listed on this graph. I wonder if I cannot move my picture, I apologize. So moving on, the Netherlands sovereign bonds, so their government bonds, have a negative yield. This is something that typically does not happen in the United States. This could be due to the pandemic, but as I said in the previous slide, they have a AAA rating, so it is a safe buy, meaning there's no risk in buying these bonds. I guess this is something that typically happens in Europe. However, according to a Bloomberg Businessweek article, the economy is recovering in Europe, which is driving up yields, which is causing the bond prices to fall. In the same article, it said negative yields in Europe came about as a result of a weak economy and half-decade of unprecedented monetary intervention. And then in the same article, it goes on to say that the European Central Bank cut interest rates to the bone and bought up loads of bonds, helping to push up their prices and lower their yields. So in times of crisis, so this graph compares the Netherlands, which is in blue, to Europe and Central Asia, which is in red, and then high-income countries, which is in gray. So as you can see from the graph, the Netherlands is a little less volatile compared to the Europe and Central Asia. And then during the economic crisis in 2008-2009, the Netherlands was hit hard, but I'm not sure if you can quite see it, but it wasn't hit quite as hard as the collective Europe and Central Asia. It also took a long time to recover in comparison, even though in the early 1990s, the Netherlands seemed to have fared a little bit better than the high-income countries and the Europe and Central Asia. So, okay, even though this graph stops, it goes only from 1990 to 2020, it is expected for the Dutch economy to recover to the pre-pandemic levels. I will actually discuss this in a later slide. Okay, so central bank. The central bank of the Netherlands is De Nederlandsche Bank. I'm sure I said that wrong. But it is headquartered in Amsterdam. It was established in 1814, and it's part of the European System of Central Banks. And this means it collaborates with the EU, it collaborates with the EU monetary policy, payment systems, and foreign exchange. It's a public limited company, which means its only shareholder is the Dutch state, according to the central bank website. Also, according to the central bank website, it's part of the Single Resolution Mechanism, and this is responsible for orderly resolution of failing banks in the euro area. So, the Netherlands economy projection. So, this graph was actually published at the beginning of 2021. I apologize again if you can't see it because my head is in the way. However, you can see where the pandemic hit. So the blue line, the solid line, indicates actual, and then the dotted line represents forecasted. So you can see when the pandemic hit in the Netherlands, it looks to be about May 2020. So this was actually in reaction to the U.S. economy when it was hit. So the U.S. economy was actually hit about 2 months earlier. However, since May 2020, the Dutch economy is quickly recovering. The economy is expected to grow 2.7% in 2021 and 3.7% in 2022. And as you can see in the graph, the Dutch economy is set to be back at its pre-pandemic growth level at the end of 2021 and the beginning of 2022. So some weaknesses in the Netherlands economy that I haven't addressed yet is the aging population. So the Netherlands actually has one of the world's highest life expectancies at almost 82 and a half years. To put it into perspective, I looked it up, and the U.S. life expectancy is about 78.7 years. So basically, this means the Dutch government is paying a lot in pensions to the aging population, and there are a lot more people not working compared to the younger people that are working. So another weakness to the Netherlands economy is their use of fossil fuels. The use of fossil fuels has a negative effect on the environment, and this will probably be a problem for the future if they continue to use non-renewable resources. So some Netherlands strengths that I haven't covered for their economy is the trade. They are a big trade hub for the EU. It actually has one of the biggest ports in the world and is the biggest port in Europe. And if you're curious, it's located in Amsterdam. And the Netherlands benefits from being one of these, being the biggest trade hub in the EU. The Netherlands is in the top 10 export economies in the world. And as I said earlier, it benefits from being a member of the EU. So basically, they benefit by using the currency, the euro, and they also benefit from trade and tax benefits. So overall, the Netherlands is a very good trading partner for the United States. And here are my references. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great day.